Welcome to the Seriously Hilarious podcast, where we take everyday issues way too seriously and also not seriously at all.
That's right. I'm Shonda, the one who overthinks everything. From why my Wi Fi hates me to why the grocery stores play such emotional music.
And I'm Venus, the one who laughs at all of it, including but not limited to failed adulting, dating disasters, and why we still don't have flying cars because I am such a sci fi nerd.
We dive into the ridiculous, the relatable, and the why do we even deal with this parts of life?
So join us this week as we discuss self care. It is such a big topic as the 2025 has entered, and as you know, everything in the world is happening. But I wanted to touch base more so on physical health, mental health, emotional health with regards to self care. I have been on a journey for years, but these past year I've really just embraced my exercise journey, and I know a lot of people have New Year's resolutions and make all these commitments to their physical health at the beginning of the year that they may find themselves dropping off on. And as we embark on the second quarter of 2025, I just wanted to um, touch base on that and see where I am. You know, I am recently recovering from surgery, and I have to get back to it. Right, I've been kind of laying around for 6 weeks and have to get back to it.
Yeah, well, I do see April as a new time, like a new year basically, because it's spring and everything is growing. And it's a good time to reset, especially when it comes to self care.
Yes, I do. I do think it's a good time to reset. And I know everybody wants to get their summer bodies together, but I keep telling everybody mine's gonna be a fall or winter body because
Not a fall body.
summer is not gonna work for summer, and not at this point. But you know, as life happens, and you know, as we deal with all the emotional stresses of everyday life, because life be life, and we also just have to take note and forgive ourselves for any shortcomings and just push through and just keep keeping on. You know, it's hard. It's hard to diet. It's hard to eat right. It's hard to embrace a new lifestyle change. It's hard to exercise regularly and daily. But all of these things are part of a self care journey, right? Like
Absolutely.
exercising kind of just, you know, it releases endorphins and make you happy, first of all. But it it helps with your emotional health, right? Your physical
Yeah.
health, you know, your mental health, and everything else, because as you feel better, your outlook will be better as well.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned a summer body, but mine is an all year body. Because,
Right?
I am over 30 and
I like how you said over
I mean,
30.
over 30 can mean a lot of things, but I am over 30 and
Over
every day I need to move this body. You know what I mean? So this is my seasonal body. You know what I mean? All seasons I will be hitting the gym. Because first of all, movement is medicine,
movement,
and
yes.
sometimes if I am stressed out, I need to move my body to work that energy through.
Yes, yes, that's very true. That's
Cause
very
I
true.
don't want to snap, on people
No,
in traffic.
that's yeah.
I just want to be able to woo-saw and what's the thing called? The little bag you punch at the gym? Yeah, let me hit that
Yeah, that
instead
punching
of that
bag.
person in that cubicle next to me.
Yeah, you know you get a chance to just work on your frustrations, and you know, and that's and not just exercise. You know, you can meditate. You know, you can just even if you want to do vigorous exercise, you can take walks. You know, you could just have a silent moment to reflect on the day. You could take a breath. You could do yoga.
I
You
do it
know,
all. I
you
do it all every single day.
you know you could practice, you know, a yoga mentality and breathing it in and exhaling it out and all of those things.
Woo-saw.
And woo stop, exactly, that's me. I woo stop all the time, and then I just go to sleep because I like sleeping. That's my main self-care technique, is just going to bed or watching sci-fi and aliens, because that's my thing. But you know, I go to the gym, and even over this past year, and I had got got pretty. I
Consistent.
got.
You was real consistent with the
I
gym.
was real consistent. I was in there. I was lifting. I was boot camping at 5 a.m. in the morning. And when I tell you, I complained,
But
but
you went.
I went every day.
You
I went,
went.
but I complained. And that lady was tired of me because I would just be complaining. I said, you know what? I'm gonna stop complaining because I still come in here every day.
Consistent.
But when I tell you, to ask me to be trying to deadlift 225 pounds, I was like, no
Girl.
sir, no ma'am, no sir, no ma'am, not
Not
today, not
today.
tomorrow, because who lifting that? Like, who legs you think these are? And it was just so crazy and hilarious. But I'm grateful because my legs end up looking fantastic. They were just looking so great. And now that I have been on my little hiatus, hopefully I get to go back to the gym next week. But I'm like, oh crap, I can see the difference of not working out and deadlifting, 225
Yeah, your
pounds.
body get used to moving, especially when you are consistent like that, and then all of a sudden it's like pause, break. Your body like, whoa, 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 whoa. This ain't how we function. And I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you, like, if I don't move my body, my hip starts hipping. It'd be like, hey, you forgot. We need circles in the morning. We need some dips. We need all kind of stuff. Maybe a
Mm-hmm.
little jog. But yeah, for me, I would say that exercise is more of a mental thing than it is physical for me,
Mm-hmm.
especially like when I'm in the gym and I can just like think about that one thing. Oh, my next rep. Oh, my next set, and just have all the rest of my more mental space and
Mm-hmm.
capacity. So
Yep.
I really go to the gym for that. But it's always nice to look good in some jeans too.
Oh yeah, I like to look good in clothes. I know a lot of people. I was talking to someone at the gym the other day. I went to go walking, and she was like, My whole goal is just to look good naked. I just want to look good naked." And I said, I'm great with just looking great in clothes. Like if you don't like me naked, you can most definitely close your eyes, turn the lights out. I don't really care.
Lights out.
I just want to look good in clothes, but I also just want to feel good. That's the main thing. I want to feel good. I want to be able to run from the zombies, or whatever the case may be. I want to be able to squat. I don't want to be an old person who's having all these issues.
I
You
don't want
want
to be an old person who can't move.
that too. Mobility is a big thing. And that's a big reason why I try to make sure I am active on a regular basis. It's part of my life. Going to the gym or working out or hiking or walking or whatever I find myself doing is just a part of my everyday living at this point.
I think they call that functional fitness, and I feel like as I've gotten over 40, I mean 30.
See, she told y'all. See,
But anyway,
she
the
old.
truth self
She
sets you
old.
free. Whatever. I don't care. But it's more about being able to function and move and pick up things than it is about looking physically fit. You know.
Yes, physically fit will come with it. If you are consistent enough, you'll get some type of physicality, happening to
It
your
just show up one day, you
physique.
be like, oh my God, look at these shoulders.
Right. Look at my legs is legging. It's gonna be, it's gonna happen. But you wanna just kind of start for your own mental health, and then there's other mental health and things that you can do, like I mentioned before, like yoga and meditations.
Yeah, and also music. I listen to positive music. I love a high vibration music. I have a whole playlist that I listen to, especially when my other self care techniques are not working. I will just go down a list. So, in my list, I start out the day with meditation, and then there's movement. So, I'm moving my body. Like I said, I wake up and do some hip circles and hit the gym, right? I'm a morning gym person, by the way. Um, and then, I listen to music. I make sure that I make sure that the music is positive, and that I also breathing exercises are good too. So like sometimes I just stop and take a breath, especially before I make a decision. I've learned to pause to choose the right play because girl, that has saved me from so many arguments at work and other people. And when you
Mm-hmm.
learn some self control and emotional control, you find more grace for yourself
Yeah.
in your journey, because you're not constantly saying, "Man, I shouldn't have did that," or "I shouldn't have did that." Whereas that internal voice becomes like a critic.
Yeah.
Nah, me and my internal voice, we friends. You know what I mean? Just I got her and she got me.
Right. Yeah, that's true. It's and as we discuss self-care, it's multifaceted, it's mental, it's emotional, it's physical. And as we talk about, mental health, as we'll touch this on in later episodes as well, but y'all got the we as us as women and even men too, we got to leave crazy people behind because they will mess with your mental health. So
Girl,
that
everybody crazy.
you have everybody is crazy, but you have to actively participate in your own mental health. You have to be like, no, this person is not good for me. They are not adding value to my life. They are making things worse, not better, or whatever the case may be. If they're changing your mood to a less pleasant mood, then you probably need to move on. And that's all I got to say about
So what I'm hearing you say is it's about you being accountable
that.
for everything that you are consuming, because consumption is not just about food.
It's not.
It's about energy. It's about, like I said, I listen to high vibe music, whereas like certain music, like heavy music, dark music, movies, any type of media that just makes me feel some type of way, I consume less of it. So I'm accountable for my intake.
Yeah.
And I think that root is you, you
Yeah.
know? So, like, what sometimes we play victim, and we're unable to see ourselves because we are so focused on controlling others. What are they doing? How are they affecting me? But really, this you the main character of your story. What are
Right.
you doing to protect yourself? What are you doing to make sure that you are not, repeating cycles?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that self care helps you really connect with yourself, especially in meditation and
Mm-hmm.
with yoga. In yoga, you're connecting to your body. You're able to hold those poses,
Yep.
and you're proving to yourself that you can. You're
Yeah.
strong. You're capable. So then
Mm-hmm.
that translates over to when you're in meditation and your mind. You realize your mind is like a highway. But can you breathe through it?
Right.
Can you choose a better thought? And
Exactly.
that reflects into your physical world.
Yep.
Are you able to say, you know what? I don't have to stay in this relationship that's unhealthy.
Right.
I don't have to maintain this friendship if it no longer serves me. At the same time, I don't have to completely remove this person if I'm able to just make adjustments and restructure our relationship, our friendship, our
Right.
interactions.
Right. Setting boundaries is a big part of self care.
I'm still working on it.
Yeah, I'm working on it as well. I set a new boundary almost every day with myself, and not just with other people, just with myself, just what I'm willing to deal with and not deal with myself. Like I want to hold my own self accountable, just with my own goals, um, and aspirations and things that I want to do. And sometimes we even will let ourselves lack. We would be like, oh, it's okay, whatever. And you kind of talk yourself out of it because you can't be too hard on yourself, right? But you also need to keep yourself accountable with how you treat you. You need to make sure you're treating you the way you want to be treated. And same goes for, outside influences, people, friends, coworkers, whoever. You need to make sure you set appropriate boundaries so that you are maintaining your best healthy self, mentally, emotionally, physically, all of those things. Because
Yeah.
nobody's trying to be in this world all crazy and screwed up
We
all the
got enough
time.
crazy people.
Right, and it is enough crazy people out here because OMG,
But I
OMG.
wanted to piggyback on what you were saying, because self is a key word there,
Hmm.
and it starts with how you treat yourself. Everything starts with you. So that is like your homeostasis, right? Because you're like, well, I don't talk to myself like that. I'm not going to allow this person to speak to me like that. Oh, if I'm able to show myself grace and if I'm able to forgive myself, I can extend that to the next person. So that's what they mean by, filling your cup first and then other people get the overflow.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it took me a while to learn that, still learning it,
Yep.
And that's why I said, embrace new beginnings. Like, this is spring, this is new.
Yep.
Another, you can always start over,
Yeah.
And continue learning. But I know, like, I, at one point in my life, under 30,
Right.
I used to pour from an empty cup and then I would be depleted. And then, the bottom of that cup, it ain't nothing down there but like crumbs and stuff or whatever, dirt, whatever. And you're not your best self, and so you end up treating yourself, and other people, what is the word? Harmfully, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So when you fill your cup and they get the overflow, it just makes things so much better.
Yeah, it's hard out here for a pimp. It really is.
Trying to make money for the rent.
Right, that whole hustle and flow saying, right? I mean, it's just really hard, and in different aspects. It's hard to navigate those things across every facet of your life. You want to have solid friendships. You want to have solid work relationships so that you could be successful. You want to have gainful interactions with even new people you meet. You know, and you have to approach all of those situations probably a little bit differently, but also with the right mindset. And a lot, all of this self care is really just about really having a mindset, because even as we talk about, having a lifestyle change, a lot of people struggle with their diet. It's a mindset. You have to be like, you know what, this is what I have. You have to change your
That
mindset.
growth mindset.
Right, and you have to change your relationship with food and nutrition. And just like you're changing your relationship with that, you have to change your relationship with people, and change your relationships with the emotions that you tap into quicker than others. You may tap into anger a little bit quicker. You probably need to change your relationship with anger. And therapy is great self-care.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people, especially in the African American community, they shun therapy and
But it's shifting a
counseling.
little bit.
But it has been shifting. It's been shifting a lot. I think a lot more people have been seeking outside help to manage their issues and set up their boundaries and become mentally and more more mentally capable of navigating their life on a different level than they were before. But you have to explore all aspects of your self-care. It's not just one thing. Because even if you are already physically fit, are you flexible? I mean,
Girl, mobility is
because
everything.
it just because you're fit doesn't, are you eating healthy? Just because you're fit don't mean you're eating healthy. It's a whole lot of skinny people with clogged arteries. It's a lot of things that goes into that, which also translate to your mental health, your emotional health, your relationships, your interactions. Um, it's it's kind of like a pyramid type thing, or whatever the shape of Venn diagram. I don't know. Everything kind of just overlaps each other in some shape, form, or fashion. But I just kind of want everybody to take a minute, and just think about that. Think about how you can improve your life, because as we know, nothing is perfect. Nobody's life is perfect. Nothing in anybody's life is going absolutely, correct, or it could be better. You're like, what, I can make this better.
The next best step is what I always say.
Yeah.
Just one step at a time. Like, what feels good to me now, So something that you mentioned that I wanted to expand upon is capable. Feeling capable, So I know, like, it's not about being perfect, right? But it's about being better overall, right? So, like, I know when I went from being able to lift 5 pounds to 10, I was like, look at me, yay me. You know what I mean? And it's like it's like being your best self and competing with yourself. You know what I mean? So, and then like you said, it's like you said Venn diagram, and I like that because, those are overlapping circles, right? And there is a lot of overlap because you can go from saying, you know what, when you are meditating and you learn how to just sit with your thoughts and allow yourself to just be where you're at. You're also learning how to feel your feelings, and then you learn how to manage your emotions. So I used to think anger was a superpower. I used to be like, man, when I'm angry, I could do anything because I just don't care. I just do what I need to do. I don't make excuses. But I've learned that anger, as well as all the other emotions, are they are indicators.
Mhm.
So just like um, the gas needle, it tells you when you need to put some gas in there. Anger can tell you when you need to make some changes. It can tell you basically that you feel some type of way about how you are treating yourself. So when I'm angry, I'd be like, I'm curious about my anger. Like, well, what about this is upsetting me? Because I can learn from anything, and
Yeah.
that goes back to you saying about your mindset, having a growth mindset. You're willing to be a beginner, a lifelong learner, and I just feel like all of it overlaps, like you said, whereas like you're no longer stuck because you always making room to learn, to grow, to gain a new perspective, to just enhance all of your abilities. So for me, self care saved me, continues to save me, and something that is a continuous journey.
Yeah, yeah, most definitely. Like I said, I know, this is still kind of the beginning of 2025. And I know, a lot of people have made all of these resolutions. And, I just want you all, everybody to kind of just take stock. I mean, even if you didn't make a resolution, right? Just take stock in your life now. Just take stock, take a minute, reevaluate. I mean, we still have several months in this year to go. So you got time, right? You still got time to shift things and make changes. And just to navigate the world a little bit differently, especially in this new crazy world we got going on with the foolery, because it's all kind of foolery transpiring on a daily basis in America. you know um and you may need to shift anyway. We all probably just need to shift a little bit. I mean, even if we just shifting ourselves, financially, but even to shift yourself financially, you got to shift yourself mentally, because all of that affects your financial movements. So you got to start thinking different. uh
So
duck and
Venus,
weave.
what is something that you feel comfortable sharing with us that you have changed this year that you're proud of yourself about? It could be a small thing.
I don't know. Sleeping more. Oh my God. I have been able to just, I always, sometimes I have a hard time sleeping, and I have been kind of really intentional about getting good solid sleep. Not just for, my mental health and things like that, but for my physical health, because you have to
Mm-hmm.
sleep well in order, to get those muscle gains. So,
Mm-hmm.
I have.
Rest is productive.
Yes, rest is very productive. It is like the main ingredient. You need rest. I know that I see a lot of little surveys out. They're like, oh, you only need 5, 6 hours, and some people this age group only need 8 hours and whatever. I'm like, no, I
Mm-mm.
need 10 hours, 12 if I can do 12, because why not? Like, who not sleeping? I love
Girl.
to sleep. I will stand in bed all day, wake up refreshed, and then probably can just go for the next 24 hours. But I will be refreshed. I will be mentally, physically, emotionally refreshed. I will be ready to take it on, do everything I need to do, and do it well. It's the best way to be.
Yeah, and I saw where this guy was talking about how when you are over 30, how sleep becomes like a focus for your day, getting
Yeah.
good sleep. and the many different ways that we incorporate, our schedules and routines to get good sleep. Like,
Naps.
girl, a nap is yummy. But what I'm talking about is he was like, oh yeah, I need a Tempur-Pedic mattress. I need a sound machine.
Man, I need some nice sheets.
Oh, girl, it
Man,
ain't nothing but like a hot
I,
thread
I,
count.
I will spend money on sleeping.
You
Now,
should.
people be
That's
talking.
self care right there.
Now
Nice
I don't
things.
spend money on a lot of stuff, like not money, unless it's like travel or something. But
Oh,
if I'm
we dealing
spending
with that
money,
now.
money,
Mm-hmm.
I will spend it on some nice
A good
sheets,
mattress. Ugh.
a nice like a nice comforter, duvet, blanket, whatever your pleasure is. Make sure your sleeping area is superb, because it
Yes.
does make a difference. And people who say it doesn't make a difference is crazy,
They
because it
probably under
does.
20. No.
I mean, whatever the case may be, it's something. I don't know. I don't know exactly, what your formula is. I mean, everybody's formula may be different, but whatever your level of comfort is, achieve it. Trust me. Just go for it. I mean, whether you like a firm mattress or a soft mattress or whatever, just get it. Trust me. It's a few years ago, well, actually, I've always like enjoyed my sleep space, but I don't know. I want to say maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I found these sheets, and when they be talking about 5, 6,000 thread counts and all that, I never really focused on it. But I found some sheets on Last Act and Macy's on sale. Place to be, I'm telling y'all,
Mm.
Last Act. But anyways, and they were like hundreds of dollar sheets, but I got them on sale for like under $100. Man, when I tell you those sheets feel like butter, it's like you just laying on the softest cloud, and just fall asleep. So just lull yourself to sleep. It's so amazing. And it really does. You wake up more refreshed because you slept. You really slept. You got some nice good REM sleep and deep sleep, and it's absolutely amazing. So I say, and
So
do.
sleeping is self care.
Yeah, sleeping is self care, and do that with everything. If you want to go to the gym, find you like the best comfortable shoes, the best workout clothes. You're gonna go do yoga, get you some nice yoga clothes, a good comfortable yoga mat, because there's a lot of up and down dog in it, and your knees and everything else is on the floor. So get all of that, and whatever you're doing, be comfortable. If you're gonna be out here hobnobbing with the rich and richer, get you some nice suits and blazers or whatever, and whatever makes you feel like you're at your best, so you
Yeah.
can be at your best. Do that, do those things for yourself. It's more of, even if it costs a little extra, right? Because it's going to help you in the long run to achieve whatever goals you set for yourself.
Yeah. So as you can see, guys, every aspect of life incorporates some form of self care, and it's important that you really consider yourself with everything, because at the end of the day, all you got is you, and you got to take care of you.
You
So,
all you got.
right, right. So I was gonna mention, girl, a good pillow. Oh my
Oh
god.
yes,
And some
pillow,
smell goods.
all of that.
Just explore all of the
All
senses.
good, taking long baths, relaxing in a tub, all of
Girl,
those things.
quiet.
Going to
I'm gonna
get
tell you, I
massages,
love
facials,
silence
that
too.
that
Oh
too.
my god.
Sitting in saunas,
Mm-hmm.
all of that. Whatever your self-care routine, make sure you embrace one or two or three or four of them. Whatever you need to
Yeah.
do, just to, be your best self.
Mm-hmm.
Why we should all be striving to be our best selves, or better than the selves we are, even if we feel like we are amazing, right?
Yeah. Well, I think this is a good conversation, at least a good starting point to, you know, inspire people.
Yeah, and I thank you all, for joining our first podcast. We will be back. This probably wasn't as hilarious as it is, but it's gonna get funny, trust me. So please tune back in and subscribe and share and all of those things. We look forward to you going on a journey with us, and we going on a journey with you as we explore, life and all of the things that be life in it, because yeah, it's
Yeah.
real out here.
We gotta laugh to keep from crying.
I mean, yeah,
Well,
yeah,
this has
and
been
cry while we laughing, because sometimes things be hilarious.
absolutely. Well, this has been seriously hilarious. Thank you for joining us.